Okay, so today I'm super excited to talk about one of my favorite places in the East Valley, Queen Creek. I think it's probably my favorite because I get to live there. And we want to talk about some really cool communities, right?
Yeah, before we start about communities, I want to run through like the history of Queen Creek.
Because it's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, let's see if you guys know some of these facts. First off, any idea when Queen Creek was first founded?
1900s.
Well, yeah, like 1945.
All right, so it's 1980.
1947.
Okay, you're wrong both ways.
1943. Higher or lower? Higher or lower? It's fine. Keep going. It's fine.
I'm literally going to punch you.
Okay. Let's go. The people, you're wasting time. Go. Well, when was it found? We can hardly wait for this answer now. Hurry, go like this. It's killing me. I don't even want to know anymore. Next, go. We're done. Go. What? Go. When was it founded?
Fix your glasses. We can't
Please.
answer it looking like that.
When was it founded? You have the people waiting.
I'm going to pee my pants. Okay.
Leave that in
Queen
there.
Creek was founded in 1989, Sam.
Thank God. Oh, my God. 89. We can
I was
rest
10.
now. You said 1900s. You have a 100-year span.
89.
Something cool about the town that I love that we found researching was that it was actually called Rittenhouse, which is a big prominent road now.
Yeah.
And so it was called Rittenhouse, and it changed to Queen Creek as soon as the importance of the railroad kind of diminished. So Rittenhouse, the founder, his name is C.H. Rittenhouse, and he's the one who formed the biggest farm company in the area, which was Queen Creek Farms in 1919, and they needed a spot to ship out all of their produce. And so that is why the railroad came, and that's kind of how Queen Creek started to grow. So
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
1989.
Yep.
I will remember that.
Yes. All right. Let's talk about our favorite communities. You want to go first?
Yeah, of course. I'll go first. So like the Southeast Queen Creek area, one of my top ones, not necessarily my favorite, but it's hard to like name your favorite, would have to be the Will Rogers Equestrian Center. Big horse guy, big rodeo guy. We do a ton of horse property stuff. What I like about Will Rogers is, one, the location. It's a great location off of like Ellsworth and Ocotillo area. I think there's how many houses are there? 120 houses or something?
Yeah, I think somewhere around there.
So it's a smaller,
125.
it's a smaller community. I mean, you have families in there. You have, older retired people in there. What's cool about it's got 10 acres of like private equestrian stuff, like 110 stalls, 2 lighted arenas, which I love the lighted arenas in Arizona because in the summertime it gets super, super hot. So you kind of don't start riding until 8, 9 o'clock at night when it kind of cools down. The wintertime, it gets dark super fast. So, 4 or 5 o'clock, the sun could start be going down, and you can always flick the lights on and really extend that time to ride. You got tons of horse trailer parking, RV parking right there on site. It's very close to the Queen Creek Wash. Queen Creek Wash is pretty active for a lot of equestrians and horse stuff, for sure. And the Queen Creek Wash runs like right in the heart of Queen Creek. I know that there's, what's that taco place? Like you can...
Oh, Creekside.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You can ride your horse up the wash, and then you go up to the creek side, and you can tie your horse up and go eat lunch or dinner or whatever.
So you have trail access off of there.
Trail access,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
which
cool.
is super cool. There's also a Circle K in Queen Creek that still has an active hitching post that people will go and tie their horses up in Circle K.
Insert video of Sam taking his horse to that Circle K
100%.
here.
Yep.
Okay.
What else?
I like some of the regular city folk amenities that it has. So there is a community pool, for example, and a community clubhouse. And so if you want like a simple life on a simple regular parcel and not have the maintenance of your horse pens and your horse corrals and the pool and gathering areas and all those things, I think this subdivision did an amazing job of creating that environment for its people.
Well, and
100%.
one thing that you were telling me that I didn't know is that they have full feeding and cleaning services.
Yep.
Yes.
So, like, if you have horses but you want less maintenance, like, you
Work.
have the opportunity right there. And for such a
Yes.
small community to have a clubhouse and a pool is, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like you don't hear that often.
And the HOAs and the, to have your horse and stuff there is actually very like affordable for what, I don't want to tell Will Rogers because they'll raise it, but it's actually pretty affordable for what you get.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
super cool.
Don't
So
let the
if you,
secret out.
yeah, if you want horses and you want to be in a great location, but you don't want to pay an arm and a leg for it, Will Rogers is definitely one of my top favorites for sure.
Yep. All right, Dana, what do you got?
Oh man, it was a toss up.
It's hard to pick.
It is. Like, I love Pegasus Airpark, and I was tempted to talk about it because I live super close to it. But I think one of my favorite places, and that we do an incredible amount of business, is Encanterra. So I think I've had a
good
few
one.
clients recently move into the neighborhood, or are moving into the neighborhood. And it's cool because
That
it's,
was my drive right there. I don't
Oh,
know
was-
if you noticed that.
I wasn't paying attention.
I was on the third hole right
Okay.
there.
I don't know what that looks like in a golf.
I don't either.
He's topping it.
But it's a really cool
Slice.
golf course community. So people that like to golf and that have a membership or even live there, they have partial access to it. But the cool thing about it is you drive in these gates and it's like you're in this utopia, like
Yes.
someplace that does not feel like Arizona.
No.
I always say that I'm going to retire here, but you don't have to be a retiree to live here. It's an all ages community, but they
Yes.
do have a 55 plus only portion. So if you are an active adult and you want a little bit more of a quiet atmosphere, you have an opportunity there. If you like activities, you like beautiful, luxurious pools, you want restaurants and bars on site and activities and golfing, like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah,
And
for
good
sure.
builder.
I agree. That's a good one.
All right, so I'll take the next one that you live by, which is Pegasus Airpark. So what's really cool about this community is there's about 80 to 100 custom homes in there. There's actually still some lots available, very few, but there is still, and I think there's even a couple runway lots that haven't been developed yet. So the lots are anywhere from like 1 to 1.3 acre lots. So you get some great space away from your neighbors. And the reason it's called Pegasus is because it's half horse, half flight.
Yes.
So when you go in the neighborhood, half of the neighborhood has horses. So you're going to see horses in there. You might see a riding arena, a covered riding arena actually, in there. And then you're also going to see a 5,000 foot runway. And so there's some really cool spots in there. There's some big, beautiful, huge houses in there. They have everything you need for aviation. So they even have a community aviation group in there where they meet. They do breakfasts and potlucks and things like that.
Yeah.
It's gated community, which is awesome.
Yep.
And then they have aviation fuel service. So you can fly in, go directly to your hangar, get fuel service. Or they have also airplane storages.
Hangers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They have your own hangar. I don't know why I lost that word. They have your own hangar that you can get in addition to if it's not on your lot. So you can have both choices. You can either have your airplane on your lot or you can get it with a hangar that's inside the community. It's really beautiful out there. There's great mountain views of the Santans. And then I personally love where it is in the community. So there's so much great stuff going on around there with Fat Cats, Pecan Lake, all kinds of new restaurants, food. Schneff Farms isn't that far away. So we love the community because it's close to everything, but it's also not close to everything. So you're a little bit of ways off of
Ellsworth.
yes, you're still on Ellsworth, but you're on more of the south side of Ellsworth. And so you're just a quick 5-minute drive down to Target or any of those big stores, but you're not right there in all the hustle and bustle. What do you guys think?
So I'm right on the outskirts. I don't get to be a Pegasus resident, but all of those things. Like I always say, because of where I'm from in San Diego, I like the idea of country living where it feels a little bit more rural, but you're still close to everything that the city has to offer, and that's what you get. And then so if you live in the neighborhood or on the outskirts, it's really cool because you see the planes taking off, landing all the time. And another cool thing, they have the hangars for residents, but even if you're not a resident and you're a pilot and you have a plane, you can purchase a hangar within the community as well. So I think it's just, I mean, some of the homes you drive through there and they are just spectacular custom homes. There is a home that's on a larger lot currently for sale in there that's like close to $20,000. 20 million. I mean, 20 million. Very interesting layout, but super cool home in the community.
Yeah, I like driving around seeing like the size of the homes in there, but also like the architectural designs that people pick. I mean, because they are custom houses, and the HOA only lets you, like the minimum build is what, 4,500 square feet
I don't know. That's
in there. I thought there was a minimum.
Yeah,
or
I would
maybe that's
imagine.
Pecans.
Yeah.
But you got to build like a really nice house, nice hangar. But you have young families up to like older retired people. You know, you have the snowbirds. I have a buddy who lives in there, flies to Yuma probably twice a week, and he loves it because he just goes right out his hangar, gets on the runway, and he's gone. And then when he comes home, he lands and he drives right into his hangar, right in his backyard, and then he's home for the day. He loves it.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
So if you lived in LA, your commute to Arizona every night would probably be similar to commute driving outside of LA.
Yes.
Also, we should note there's only a couple of opportunities for runway type homes in the East Valley. So there's one in Chandler, it's Stellar, and then there is one out in Mesa, but the Mesa one you can't live in. So there's really only a few opportunities to be able to own in an airpark in the East Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's not too many private ones. Just those three, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then every home is different too. They're all custom. So you're driving down the street and you're not like, oh, that person's house
same
is just
house.
like mine.
Yeah.
They're all different.
Yeah. And there's some good sized houses in there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Beautiful.
All right, who's up next?
Dana's up next.
Oh, you want me to go next? Okay. Let's see. There's so many good places in the East Valley, but I also, in Queen Creek, Barney Farms. If I hadn't moved where I moved, I might have considered this one.
Yeah.
It's a Fulton community. So Fulton has been for the quality home that they build and how they stand behind it. But this one is cool because you don't find many lake communities in Arizona, in the East Valley. And this one, it's not just a little teeny tiny one. It is 22 acres. And it's a deep water lake, so about 10 to 12 feet deep. And you can kayak and canoe, and you can fish in this lake. So they have bluegill, bass, and sunfish in the lake. And it's maintained by like I forget the word that they used for it, but like somebody that maintains the lake and the fish in the community. And they have a huge aquatic center with kiddie pools and splash pads, farm-themed parks that have a zip line on it, which, I mean, can you imagine if you had little kids, like you would never have to leave your neighborhood. There's also Catherine Meacham Barney Elementary School inside the community. When I had younger kids, that was the one thing that drew me to the community that we moved to, was that it had a school. So I knew I could walk my kids, like it was within close proximity. And then, again, Queen Creek, so it's close to all of the things that Queen Creek has to offer, the Costco, the Target, the new BJ's, Hobby Lobby. And where this one is located, you're closer to the 24, so your freeway access, when we're talking about living in Queen Creek, is really good.
Yeah.
So.
And it's not too far from Legacy either.
No.
Right?
No.
And it's still called Legacy.
No.
Oh, okay. What's the name?
Arizona Athletic Grounds.
Okay.
Yeah. It's.
Everybody knows it as Legacy, but
I know.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, yeah.
yeah, great
But
area.
Yeah. It's close to that. It's close to Mesa Gateway Airpark. too. So if, we know you guys fly out of there frequently. So
Yeah.
there's locations that you can fly to. So you're close to a small airport.
I imagine
Restaurant,
Mesa
shopping,
Gateway's
freeway.
got to be expanding soon too, right?
It is, yeah. It has been in the works and it's continuing, and hopefully you hear rumblings, right? But within the next 5 years, we're going to notice that there are bigger airlines that are in that airport and servicing all of us that are over here on the East End.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what I love about Fulton is they design a community. So not only are their houses nice, but the whole community is very well thought out. I know their original one they did out there, Ironwood Crossing.
Yep.
Even in 2008, when the market was not in a good spot, their grass was still green. They had winter grass. Like it was just beautiful all the time. And so that when you buy a Fulton home, like in Barney Farms, that your community is going to be well kept up and taken care of for years to come. I also love that they chose to name it after one of the founding families of Queen Creek, which is the Barney family.
Yeah.
So that's where their farmland was, and that's what it's named after. And I think that's a really cool touch to be able to keep the roots of agriculture, which is what Arizona has been for a long time, and incorporate that into the population growth that we're having.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's some sadness, I think, amongst people as we see some of the farmland go away. So it's like to pay homage to what was here and not forget about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this the last one or just the
Orchard
next
Ranch or
one?
the Pecans? Which one do you want to talk
I'm
about?
gonna do the pecans.
All right.
I love Orchard Ranch. Don't get me wrong,
Okay.
but everybody knows the pecans.
All right, let's hear it.
Pecans is a big deal. There's a lot of who's who in there. I don't want to drop any names. Not me and Dana. We don't live in there yet, but it's a smaller community, but very luxury. Like when you think of luxury, I don't think of Scottsdale. I mean, it's like the pecans. That's where you go. If you're a who's who, you have money, and you want luxury, you go to the pecans. It used to be a pecan orchard. There's still about 4,000 pecan trees in the pecans. Very active community in an HOA, but they, really, really support it. Keep it very nice, very luxury. I don't know if I've said that enough yet. What else do we got? There's biking paths, walking paths. You're in the Queen Creek School District, which is a fantastic school district. You're in a great area, very close to Pegasus, actually, like right across Ellsworth. Ellsworth and like Ocotillo, Chandler Heights area. Great area, great location, close to all the shopping stuff that we talked about. Nice, big custom homes in there. Luxury custom homes in there.
There's 258 to be exact.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even think there was that many, but
there's still a few lots. I
Yeah.
think there's only a handful of lots left in there.
yeah. But a great area.
Gated.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so if you're looking for gated, it's gated.
Yeah.
A little touch that is cool is like there's cobblestone areas, and like the homes are all like offshoots and they're little cul-de-sacs, like roundabouts, not even a cul-de-sac.
Right.
Huge lots. Huge. I don't even think we addressed that.
Huge homes.
Yeah.
I think that's the minimum in there is a 4,500 square foot house to build.
They're
is the
gorgeous.
minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lots are like 30,000 square feet. They're big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now they have the custom side. So originally, I think it was William Lyons that built in there. I could be wrong, but then all the ones that have recently been developed are custom homes.
Yes.
So
Yes. So if you can get in there, to look at some of those houses, the architecture, the size, the luxury of them, the look of them. Yeah, it's very cool.
well, and on one thing that I thought was cool is they have gas coach lights on the custom homes. All of them have to have the gas lights on them, so
Yeah.
they're like a flame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
it's
that's
super
I
cool
don't
at
know.
night, for sure.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome. So neighborhood number 5 of our favorite neighborhoods is Orchard Ranch. So that one has approximately 110 homes, and they're on nearly 1 acre lots. And so when you go into Orchard Ranch, you're going to get a feel of a more country feel. All all going to look different. And they also have an HOA, but I feel like it's a good mix of an HOA and non-HOA. So,
Yeah.
for example, if you're into everything, your neighbor's house looking great and want their horse pens looking great, this is the place to be. So when you build a horse covering, for example, in this neighborhood and you get approval, the tiles have to match the tile on your house. So they've done a really good job of keeping up the neighborhood and with still having that country feel. So there is enough space for you to have like horse stalls, barns, things like that. It's really close to Horseshoe Park, which is one of the very active horse communities, I would say, in Queen Creek. And it's just like a lot of rural charm, I would say, to it.
Yeah.
For sure.
What do you guys think?
I love it. You have speed bumps going down the street, so everybody's driving really slow.
Speed humps.
Speed humps, sorry, not
Yeah.
speed bumps.
Yeah.
I like too that, again, large lots, close to an acre. And so you notice that people in there have horse property or casitas. I can't recall if I've seen RV garages
Yes,
too, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, and they
Yeah.
park their RVs in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just space. Like if you want space, and again, I think this is one of the greatest things about these communities, and then Queen Creek as a whole is it's very much like a laid back. Like it's just not all fast paced. It's a country feel, and that's good. I love that. So
I like that you're in a community or like a subdivision technically, but it doesn't really feel like it. You're kind of like a semi-custom-ish house. You're in a community, but you're not shoved right next to your neighbor. You know, you've got space in between houses. What I like having like a bigger vehicle, horses, trailers, that kind of stuff, is the size of the roads that they have in there. Most communities are narrow roads. Orchard Ranchettes is bigger and wider. You can get around. Very clean looking. I think, you got a good blend of mixture of like young families, but also kind of retired people as well. But always presentable. You know, like the houses, the landscaping, the yards and stuff are very well put together. You know, you feel safe in there. It's a great location. I mean, yeah, and having the horse aspect of it. And if you don't want to have horses, you just want a larger yard with an RV gate. Maybe you have some toys and you want to park your, your fifth wheel or whatever in your backyard. 100%. That's the place to be.
well, and I think one thing we didn't mention, but as I'm envisioning driving down the street, I think the setback, so not all the homes are like right on the road, they're set back, so they have these beautiful front yards, and it's very not luxury. I'm not going to use that word again. It's luxury, but it's I don't know,
rural
puts you in a different, like it doesn't feel again like you're in Arizona.
Yeah.
So.
And they have a nice park like in the middle of it, which is super cool. So there's always something going on.
And access to the wash.
Yep. Access to the wash to
access
ride.
to the wash.
Yep. Wish you could ride like your side-by-sides and stuff in the wash, but that for right now is illegal until I become mayor or whatever I need to be. Then I'm going to change that.
President of Queen Creek.
I might be president one day. But yeah, I love the location. I love the area. What's cool is like, if you look at the 5 we picked, I mean, 6. Sorry, Barney Farms is in there. But 5 of them are like super close together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barney Farms is just a little bit farther away, but not even that far away. But yeah, super cool. Things are really popping off in the Southeast Valley.
Oh, yeah.
And Gilbert, Queen Creek, Santan. Yeah, this is where it's at.
I'm proud to be part of the 85142.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're interested in any of these communities or any other communities in the greater Phoenix area, we are happy to get you some details on things that are actually built and also projects that are coming down the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
Great place to be. Move to Queen Creek.